Hi and welcome to a new episode of your weekly medical TV show on الكرمة TV, White Coat. Have you ever thought about what it takes to see us on a TV? Have you ever thought what it takes to see yourself in a mirror, for example, to look handsome or cute before you go anywhere? That's our topic today, which is one of the five senses, which is vision. But we'll be more focused today on pediatric eye care and vision problems. When it comes to our children's eyes, or we need to understand that a good quality care and screening needed, that's because vision problems and eye disease can be corrected if detected early or tested early. Everyone has a vision of what children's eye problems can look like squinting, sitting too close in front of a TV, or rubbing their own eyes. Though those can be the symptoms of vision issues, sometimes there are no signs of a children or the child is not seeing well in early stages. That's why in this case, screening is very, very important. In today's episode, we'll focus about pediatric eye care and vision problems and the options of treatment and what we can do to help our kids our kids' vision to develop the right way in early stages. It's my pleasure today to host one of the outstanding optometrists in Southern California in Irvine, Dr. Stephen Wang, to talk to us and teach us more about this topic today. For interaction with the program, send in all your questions and concerns to our official Facebook page, White Coat Alkarma TV. Or if you have any question regarding that topic and you want to interact with my guest directly today, you can call the numbers that will be shown on the screen at any time during the episode. أعزائي مشاهدي قنوات الكرمة في كل مكان في العالم، أعزائي مشاهدي برنامج وايت كوت بالتحديد، بحب أرحب بيكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامجنا الطبي الأسبوعي على شاشات قنوات الكرمة. والحقيقة وأنا كنت بقول في مقدمتي، عمر حضرتك وأنت دلوقتي قاعد بتتفرج علينا فكرت إيه اللي هي البروسيس اللي بتحصل عشان أنت تشوفنا دلوقتي على الشاشة؟ ما أقصدش طبعا البروسيس التكنيكال أو الخطوات الهندسية، أنا أقصد البروسيس اللي بتحصل في النظر أو في عينينا. أو على سبيل المثال للشباب، عمر حضرتك أو حضرتك فكرتي وانتي بتبص على نفسك في المراية عشان تبقى تلوك هانسم قبل ما تخرج في أي حتة، الموضوع ده بياخد قد إيه عشان نبص على نفسنا؟ وإيه العضو الرائع اللي ربنا خلقه لنا اللي اسمه العين، وإزاي بيشتغل، بيتركب من إيه؟ كل ده مهم جدا ان احنا نفهمه النهارده. مش بس كده ان احنا نتعلم واحنا كبار ايه اللي بيحصل، ان احنا كمان نركز ازاي نقدر نساعد النظر بتاع اولادنا وهم في سن صغير. والحقيقه ده واحد من المواضيع الرائعه جدا والمهمه جدا اللي انا شفت انه يعني مهم جدا لكل الاباء والامهات ان يفهموا فكره العنايه بنظر الاطفال في سن مبكر جدا، لانه ده مهم جدا. ليه مهم؟ لأنه أحيانا بتبقى في علامات واضحة إن أنا عندي مشكلة في نظر ابني أو بنتي، زي مثلا كتير جدا من أولياء الأمور أو من الأبهات والأمهات يجي يقول أنا ابني بيقعد مقرب قوي في التلفزيون، أو بيذاكر وهو باصص على حاجة بشكل قريب جدا، أو ابني ما بيشوفش غير من بعيد جدا. أحيانا ابني بيقعد يهرش في عينيه، عينه بتحمر. كل دي بتبقى علامات واضحة، وده أحيانا بتبقى كويس جدا لأنه علامة من ربنا إنه في مشاكل في نظر الولد أو البنت صغيرين. المشكلة الكبيرة إنه أحيانا في بعض الأمراض الأطفال ما بتبينش أي علامات إنه هي عندها مشاكل في النظر، غير إنه هي بس بتبقى شقية شوية، التركيز بتاعها يعني ما بنقولش يعني الاتنشن سبان بتاعهم مش كبير قوي. عشان كده احنا بنحاول يعني نتعامل معاهم على إنه طفل شقي، ولكن الحقيقة بيبقى عندهم مشكلة في النظر، ده اللي بيخليهم مش قادرين يقعدوا يذاكروا لفترات طويلة أو يقروا بشكل مظبوط. عشان كده حاجة اسمها السكريننج تيست أو الكشف المبكر عن الحاجات دي كلها بيبقى مهم جدا ان احنا دايما ناخد أطفالنا للدكتور ان هو يكشف على نظرهم ويشوف لو عندهم أي مشكلة في نظرهم، وده جزء من العناية بصحة أطفالنا وبنظر أطفالنا. حقيقة واحد من الدكاترة الرائعين دول هو متخصص في فكرة طب النظر أو الرمد، يعني دكتور رمد للأطفال، دكتور ستيفن وانج، موجود هنا في جنوب كاليفورنيا في مدينة إرفاين، واحد من الدكاترة الشطار جدا في المجال ده. والحقيقة أنا اتبسطت جدا إن هو هيكون ضيفي النهاردة. هنتكلم مع حضراتكم على مشاكل النظر عند الأطفال في سن مبكر. كل أنواع المشاكل دي من النظر، سواء كانت يعني علاماتها واضحة أو علاماتها مش واضحة، وإزاي المفروض نروح للدكتور بأولادنا كل قد إيه، وإيه اللي المفروض نعمله في كل حالة. بالحقيقة هتبقى حلقة ثرية جدا 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 إن شاء الله نقضيها مع حضراتكم النهاردة، وتبقى حلقة مفيدة إن احنا نفهم أكتر عن نظر أطفالنا، وإزاي عينيهم دي بتشتغل وبتتكون من إيه، وكل المشاكل اللي قد تحدث، وإزاي كمان نقدر نعالجها. طبعا زي ما حضراتكم عارفين دلوقتي، للتواصل مع برنامجنا تقدروا تبعتوا كل الأسئلة الخاصة بنظر الأطفال أو المشاكل بتاعت الأطفال لصفحتنا الرئيسية على الفيسبوك وايت كوت الكرمة تي في، أو لو حضراتكم عندكم أسئلة عن أي حاجة تخص نظر الأطفال تقدروا تكلمونا على الأرقام اللي بتبقى ظاهرة على الشاشة قدام حضراتكم في أي وقت من أوقات الحلقة. إن شاء الله تبقى حلقة كويسة جدا. يلا بينا نبتدي فقرات برنامجنا النهاردة من وايت كوت. Hi, and welcome to the first episode of White Coat. I'm Tamer, Meshel, the host of the new show, White Coat.
And people began to drink alcohol as a social lubricant, and from there they began to misuse it, and they abuse it.
Not focus so much on the chemical and think more of the brain. In other words, the person.
Behavioral interventions are crucial. What we have to recognize is a non-judgmental, loving, compassionate support.
The best way to treat addiction is to prevent it, okay? So be very mindful, be educated, work with a doctor that knows what they're prescribed.
I would hope through programs like yours, getting the word out, that people understand it's not that they're bad people, it's just that they're ill.
Take care of your sleep if you want to sleep. Go to bed at about the same time every day.
Most of our communities across the country are struggling in one way or another with drugs. It affects our level of productivity, it affects our kids in schools.
You don't want to take anybody for granted. I mean, Henry and I, for instance, when he does the dishes every night, which he loves to do for some reason, I always thank him.
We can have excellent diabetes control, and we can prevent most complications if we start early enough.
To discontinue any sugary drinks or only have 1 cup a day. Number 2, be aware of your calories.
Thank you for your overwhelming support and your wonderful interaction with White Coat.
Are you tired of being overweight? Do you suffer from diabetes? Do you suffer from hypertension? Do you suffer from obstructive sleep apnea? Do you suffer from hypercholesterolemia? Have you suffered from heart attacks in the past? Strokes in the past? Are you tired of being ostracized in public? Well, I have a solution for you. Robotic bariatric surgery. This can completely change your life. I'm Dr. Bobby Bascarow. I'm a robotic bariatric surgeon. I do robotic weight loss surgery, which can completely change your life. I offer 3 different types of surgeries that can completely change your life. The sleeve gastrectomy, the lap band, and the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. One thing that's very unique about our program is that we have a dietitian, and you will get counseled on what to eat, what not to eat, and how to optimize the utilization of your tool for good weight loss.
Hello, my name is Dr. Stephen Wang, and I'm an optometrist practicing at Advanced Eye Care Optometric Center in Irvine, California. I obtained my OD from the Southern California College of Optometry, my master's in public health from the UC Berkeley School of Public Health, and my master's in public policy from the Goldman School of Public Policy. During my clinical rotations, I served at the JWCH Center for Community Health and the VA-LA Ambulatory Care Center in downtown Los Angeles, the University Eye Center in Fullerton, California, as well as several private practices throughout Orange County. My love for serving pediatric populations was fostered at Dr. Julie Ryan's office in Irvine, both during my rotations as well as an associate doctor after graduating, where I treated patients with a multitude of visual efficiency and visual processing issues. I continue to diagnose and treat many commonly undetected eye conditions such as amblyopia, accommodative insufficiency, convergence insufficiency, strabismus, and ocular motor dysfunction at Advanced Eye Care. We also manage and treat various other eye conditions such as dry eye, bacterial, allergic, and viral conjunctivitis, corneal ulcers, primary open-angle glaucoma, and patients who are at risk for developing pathological myopia. My mission as a doctor is to treat every patient with the utmost care, thoroughly evaluating his or her visual system, and laying out treatment options that go beyond simply seeing 20/20. My vision for my patients is that they would see and process the world in the most clear, comfortable, and efficient manner possible. When not practicing optometry, I'm often with my wife and 2 young kids. We travel, we try new foods, we explore different cultures, preferably by the pool or on the beach. I definitely would not be here today without the love and support of my wife, Anna, my parents, and my mentors in the profession, including Dr. Julie Ryan, Dr. Matt Wang, and Dr. Becky Tamer. If your child is having problems learning, maintaining attention while reading or in the classroom, consider bringing him or her in for a comprehensive eye exam. Check out covd.org to find a checklist of different symptoms that might be related to eye conditions, as well as to find a developmental optometrist nearby. If you're in Irvine, definitely call us at Advanced Eye Care at 949-733-3390 for a checkup. Stay tuned for me on White Coat on Alkarma TV.
أهلا بحضراتكم مرة تانية في الجزء الرئيسي النهاردة من حلقتنا عن العناية بنظر الأطفال، لأنه ده موضوع مهم جدا. كمان هنتكلم على كل مشاكل النظر في الأطفال وإيه هي طرق العلاج المتاحة لكل نوع، وإزاي يعني كل نوع من الأمراض يبقى أنسب طرق العلاج بالنسبة له إيه. كمان بيسعدني ويشرفني النهاردة أن يكون معايا واحد من أفضل الدكاترة اللي بتتكلم على الموضوع ده، هو متخصص في طب عيون الأطفال، دكتور ستيفن وانج. زي ما حضراتكم عارفين صفحتنا الرئيسية على الفيسبوك لو في أي أسئلة، أو تقدروا حضراتكم تكلموا الأرقام الموجودة على الشاشة لو عايزين تتواصلوا مع ضيفي بشكل دايركت. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome in White Coat for the first time Dr. Stephen Wang. Welcome, Dr. Wang.
Thank you.
Advanced Eye Care Optometric Center.
Yes.
What kind of services do you guys offer? And just talk to us more about it.
Sure. Well, we really offer full service eye care. You know, we do anything from your basic refraction, your comprehensive exam. We do medical office visits, so people that have a suspected pink eye or red eye, they could come in. We do glaucoma management.
That's the website?
Yes, the website is right there on the TV. And really, my focus is really on pediatric eye care. Okay. So younger kids, and I specialize in detecting a lot of kind of things that fall through the cracks, such as amblyopia or convergence insufficiency and different things like that.
And you guys are located in Irvine?
Correct.
Okay. So زي ما حضراتكم شايفين هم 2 دكاترة مع بعض متخصصين في طب الرمد أو النظر بتاع الأطفال. تقدروا حضراتكم تزوروا الويب سايت بتاعهم اللي كان موجود على الشاشة. موجودين في مدينة إيرفاين. تقدروا لأي حد من المقيمين في جنوب كاليفورنيا إن هم يتواصلوا معاهم لو في أي مشكلة عند بالأطفال بالذات في موضوع النظر. يقدروا يتواصلوا مع الجروب. ناس الحقيقة رائعين جدا جدا جدا، والخدمات اللي بيعملوها رائعة جدا بشكل يعني الحقيقة يثير الإعجاب. So since you're the eye doctor, what's the structure of the eye in the anatomical composition of the eye and how every single structure of those work. Like, how do we see how this process happens?
So it's a complicated question. I think that we do have a slide of the human eye here.
Right.
And how I like to think of it is just kind of following the light or following the image as it gets into your eye and then to your brain. Okay.
So that's the eye right there?
Yes.
So what's the structures that we're seeing now on the screen?
Sure. So we start out with the light hitting the cornea. That's kind of the clear part of the eye. That's at the very front.
Okay.
Some people have steeper, some people have flatter cornea, and that kind of determines whether they're hyperopic or myopic, and we'll talk more about that later. Okay. Light then enters the anterior chamber. That's that fluid-filled area before the iris, okay. And then it passes through the pupil. So the iris is kind of this pigmented part of your eye, you know, if you're blue-eyed colored or brown-eyed colored. That iris will has muscles that will either constrict it or dilate it, and that will determine the pupil size.
Okay.
So light will pass through the pupil, it'll go into the lens, which is that section right after the iris, okay. And that's where, you know, we focus. That's when you think about focusing, okay? So there's these ciliary bodies that are around there. They will flex or relax that lens and cause that light to be more focused or less focused. Okay. Light will then pass into the posterior chamber, which is beyond. That posterior chamber, it's inside of there is the vitreous. It's this gel-like structure at the back.
Yeah, exactly. There. So it's more of gel-like, you said?
It's gel-like, yeah.
And
it starts out more gel-like.
What's the main function of the
vitreous? It's kind
vitreous?
of more structural, kind of keeps the integrity of that eye, okay? And people, their posterior chamber, this is another thing that impacts whether they're nearsighted or farsighted. Again, we'll go more into that later, but the length of that axial length there, okay. determines whether they're nearsighted or farsighted. Okay. Then light will usually hit the macula. You'll see that's that little pinpoint part. Mm-hmm. If you're thinking there's the optic nerve head that's more towards your nose and the macula is more towards your ear. Okay. That's the part that really helps you to distinguish fine details, colors, that kind of thing. Okay. That's mostly made of what are called cone cells. The other parts of the eye, the other parts of the retina, that's made up of more rod cells, and that's more important for black versus white, light, movement, and those types of functions.
So the retina is, that's what we reflect the picture on.
That's how you get the signal. That's how the signal is received in the eye.
Okay.
Okay? And then those signals get transmitted to the optic nerve head. Some of those fibers cross over at what's called the optic chiasm. Okay. Goes into the optic tract and into the visual cortex where your mind kind of processes and makes sense of everything.
Okay. So if any of those structures doesn't work, certain kind of disorders happen.
Exactly. And the fascinating thing about that is that, you know, we do this test at the office called the visual field test, and you could actually determine where there is a defect anywhere along that path from the eyes all the way to the back of the head.
Okay. الحقيقة زي ما أنا سؤالي الأولاني لدكتور وانج عايزين نعرف حضراتكم إيه هو تركيب العين، العضو الجميل اللي ربنا خلقه لنا ده، عايزين نعرف حضراتكم إيه تركيبته، كل حاجة فيه بتشتغل إزاي، عشان لما نناقش مع حضراتكم فكرة الأمراض اللي بتحصل للعين في الأطفال تبقوا حضراتكم فاهمين إحنا بنتكلم عن أنهي جزء، إيه طرق العلاج بتاعته، الموضوع في الآخر كله يميك سنس مع بعضه. الحقيقه السلايد بتاع تركيبه العين عايز اوريها مع حضراتكم، يعني عايز اوريها لحضراتكم وازاي كل عضو في العين بيشتغل بشكل عام. الجزء اللي من بره ده اللي بنسميه القرنيه، الكورنيا، اللي هو الجزء الشفاف ده، يا ريت نحط السهم عليه. الجزء الشفاف اللي بيبقى موجود في عينينا كلنا من بره ده اللي هو بنسميه القرنيه. بتشتغل ازاي؟ فكرتها بس ان هي بتجمع الصور، بتاخد كل السيجنالز او الاشارات اللي بتيجي من اي ضوء او من اي حاجه بتتحرك. الجزء اللي وراه ده على طول اللي هو بنسميها القزحيه، اللي هو الجزء الملون اللي بيبقى ملون في عينينا، بيبقى بني اخضر ازرق وات ايفر لون العين بيبقى عامل ازاي. والقزحيه دي فكرتها برضو ان هي جزء شفاف بيعدي الضوء وبيبقى في مجموعه من البيجمنتس بتبقى هي اللي مسؤولة عن اللون العين ده بالشكل اللي حضراتكم شايفينه. الجزء الأسمر اللي جوه اللي بنسميه البيوبل أو اللي هو بنسميه إنسان العين أو بيسميه بؤبؤ العين باللغة العربية، شكلها صعب شوية، ولكن هو ده الجزء اللي بيعدي منه كل السيجنالز او الاشارات للجزء الخلفي من العين. ورا الجزء ده بيبقى فيه اللينس زي ما حضراتكم شايفين، او اللي بنسميها عدسه العين بشكل عام. اللينس دي هي اللي بتبتدي يحصل فيها زي ما بنقول التكيف، بتتقاعر او تتحدب على حسب احنا عايزين نبص قريب او نبص بعيد. يجي بعد كده الجزء البرتقاني اللي ورا ده كله اللي هو السائل الزجاجي في العين، وده برضو عفوا لو حصل فيه عتامة بتبقى في مشاكل معينة هنناقشها مع حضراتكم، وصولا للجزء اللي هو اللي ورا خالص اللي هو الريتنا او بنسميها الشبكية. شبكية العين هي اللي بيتكون عليها كل الصور اللي بناخدها من او اللي بتلقطها عينينا من بره، وبتوصله لحاجه اسمها الاوبتيك نيرف او العصب البصري اللي موجود في اخر الصوره. والعصب البصري مسؤول عن توصيل ده للمخ، وتبتدي الصور تتكون على الشبكيه ونقدر نشوف قدامنا. لو اي حاجه من دول الوظيفه بتاعتها ما تمتش بالشكل المناسب هيحصل مشاكل، وهنناقش كل نوع من انواع المشاكل دي في اطفالنا. كمان هنناقش ايه هي طرق العلاج او الحلول المتاحه لعلاج المشاكل دي، لانه ده مهم جدا جدا جدا. Dr. Wang, it seems like we have a lot of vision problems in our kids. To know how big is the problem, we have to go through some statistics. So would you walk us through those statistics to see how big is the problem and how bad or good the access to a good quality for eye care for our kids?
Of course.
Is it good or bad for us?
Access, I would say, is low for children. Yes.
Okay. So it's not as good as it should be.
It's not as good as it should be.
Okay.
Correct. Okay. So first of all, just the problem statement, okay? They say that 80% of learning comes through the visual system, okay? That involves seeing clearly, seeing efficiently, and making sense of what you're seeing, okay? So if there's anything along that way that's kind of affected, that's going to affect your learning, okay? They say that 20%, a lot of these statistics come from the AOA, the American Optometric Association, and they have certain clinical practice guidelines.
So it's a very trusted source, reliable source.
For sure. And in terms of their stats as well, 20% of preschool-age children, so when they're still in preschool, before they even enter school, those kids already have a vision problem, okay?
So 1 out of 5 almost.
Yeah, 1 out of 5 before school, and then 1 out of 4 once they enter kindergarten, first grade, what have you. They have vision problems that will also interfere.
The school makes it worse.
It does actually.
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of people think my kid can see the board, he could see the TV perfectly fine. But in fact, there's a lot of other types of vision problems, okay? 5 of the most common signs of having a vision problem are skipping or rereading lines. Having poor reading comprehension, taking longer than expected to do his or her homework, confusing letters such as B's and D's and Q's, and having a short attention span when reading. Okay? So this goes far beyond just seeing 20/20, seeing the board, what have you.
So
vision is not just seeing
to those kind of behavior.
Exactly.
Not every short attention span is ADHD, for example.
Correct, correct. And today we'll mostly be covering what are called visual efficiency issues, not so much the visual processing, but you know, a big amount of it is these visual efficiency issues.
Okay.
Okay? And so vision problems lead to not only learning issues, but they can lead to a bunch of other things in school as well. You know, the general development of the child, school performance, we talked about that, but also social interaction, self-esteem issues, things like that as well. I'll tell you kind of a personal story of myself is that I was nearsighted from an early age, 3rd grade. I did not wear my glasses.
Very, very common story.
I would say I probably didn't wear my glasses until late high school or college.
Wow.
And it led to me being actually terrified of being called in class, you know, because I couldn't see what was on the board. I developed a lot of like auditory learning strategies and kind of, and just never volunteered to answer questions and things
Basically,
like that.
you were living in your own world in the class.
I was, very correct. And also kids with disabilities, they have a lot more eye and vision problems. So kids that are already kind of disadvantaged, they have higher rates of refractive errors, so needing glasses, eye turns, eyes that kind of wander as well.
So we said 1 out of 5, they have problems in vision preschool. In
Correct.
school age, 1 out of 4.
1 out of 4.
So how does the access to vision care look like?
So it's not ideal, I would say. So statistics show that less than 15% of preschool age children receive a comprehensive eye exam.
Wow.
So that's the big thing, is that comprehensive eye exam. More kids get a vision screening, you know, but sometimes this vision screening is just at their pediatrician's office.
Snell and chart.
Snell and chart, which is great for telling if a kid is nearsighted, but it's not going to detect a lot of these what are called binocular or ocular motor problems.
Can you say this one more time? So Snell and chart at any primary care provider, pediatrician or whatever.
Right. So it
just detect the near vision problems.
Correct.
The near sight.
Yes,
problems.
for the most part, yes.
Okay.
And also really high amounts of farsightedness as well, and it will detect some of those astigmatism problems as well. But it's only effective in detecting 24.5% of any other vision-related problem.
That's why visiting the pediatrician or the primary care is not enough.
It's
so
not
screening
complete.
is important.
Right.
That's the message.
Well, and also the other thing about screening is less than 22% of this age children receive the screening. Only 38.7% of kids who fail the screening actually go on to have a comprehensive eye exam.
Wow.
So even when they're screening, even when they find a problem, they're not being passed along to the eye doctor. Right. So a lot of barriers. You know, one thing is that people feel they've done the screening, they went to their pediatrician, that's enough, I don't need to get an eye exam.
Okay.
Sometimes people will say, you know, they don't have, they're not squinting, they're not having problems seeing the TV, they're fine. A lot of people, there's no family history. You know,
Yes.
maybe dad didn't wear glasses, mom didn't wear glasses, grandma got a cataract when she was 90, but how's that gonna, you know, what does that play in the role with my child? And then inability to pay, right? Eye
That's
exams
what I
are
was
not
saying in my
free.
intro. Like sometimes those symptoms or signs are blessing.
Right.
That you see your kid is like rubbing his eyes or squinting, or some diseases, they don't have any signs and symptoms. That's why screening is important.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
زي ما شفت حضرتك سؤالي لدكتور وانج، احنا ابتدينا مع حضراتكم ايه هي تركيب العين، ايه هي الحاجات اللي بتتركب منها العين، وظيفة كل حاجة، ولكن ايه هي المشاكل اللي بتبقى موجودة في نظر اطفالنا واحيانا ما بيبقاش عندنا فكرة جيدة عنها. الحقيقة دكتور وانج ابتدى بجملة مهمة جدا، قال انه 80% من الاطفالنا بيتعلموا بشكل عام بيجي عن طريق نظرهم قبل اي حاجة تانية. يبقى 80% من التعليم بيبقى فيجوال، بيبقى جزء كبير منه عن طريق النظر. حاجة تانية مهمة قالها وحضراتكم لازم تبقوا عارفين المعلومة دي كويس، في سن ما قبل المدرسة في تقريبا 20% من أطفالنا، يعني 1 من كل 5 من الأطفال في سن ما قبل المدرسة اللي هو من 4 ل 6 سنين بيبقى عنده مشاكل وإحنا مش عارفينها. لما بيدخل المدرسة بتروح النسبة دي من 1 من كل 5 ل1 لكل 4 بيبقى عنده مشاكل في العين أو في النظر بشكل عام وإحنا مش عارفين عنها حاجة. وقال إنه ده بيحصل في الفصل عن طريق إنه أحيانا أطفالنا تقرأ مثلا سطر وتسيب سطر وتقرأ اللي بعده، ففكرة إن هم ما بيتبعوش السطور دي بتبقى صعبة جدا. الحاجة التانية قال إنه كمان أحيانا ما بيفهموش بشكل كويس اللي بيقروه، لأنه طبعا هم مش عارفين يقروه، بيحاولوا يخبوا المشكلة دي. أحيانا كمان إنه بيحصل لهم confusion لبعض الحروف، يعني بيلخبطوا الحروف مع بعض، البي بيشوفوها دي والعكس، فده بيبقى برضو من الحاجات المهمة جدا. كمان تركيزهم ما بيبقاش عالي جدا نتيجة ان هم بيبقوا مش عارفين يقروا كويس، وبالتالي ده عامل لهم مزهقهم يعني، وبالتالي بيبقى تركيزهم مش فولي قوي في الموضوع ده، فده مهم جدا ان احنا نبقى متفهمينه. قال كمان انه تقريبا 15% بس من الاطفال اللي في مرحلة ما قبل المدرسة، ودي في دولة متقدمة زي الولايات المتحدة، 1 من كل 6 اطفال بس اللي بيروح يعمل سكريننج او يعني كشف عشان يشوف، يعني 1 من كل 7 أطفال بيروح يعمل الكشف ده عشان يشوف لو في عينيه فيها مشاكل أو الحاجة دي. نقطة مهمة جدا وعايز نقف عندها، احنا أحيانا بنتخيل إنه لما ناخد أطفالنا لدكتور الأطفال وسنيل ان تشارت دي اللي هي بتشوفوها حضراتكم، اللي هي بيبقى فيها الحروف البتاع البيضة دي، التشارت البيضة اللي بيبقى فيها الحروف بأحجام معينة، ولما ابني يقرأ كويس قوي على التشارت دي يبقى خلاص هو ما عندوش مشاكل. الحقيقه دكتور وانج ركز قوي على النقطه دي، قال احيانا حتى مع وجود السنيلن تشارت دي او زي ما انا قلت لحضراتكم التشارت البيضاء اللي بيبقى عليها حروف باحجام مختلفه، احيانا الطفل بيقرا كويس ولكن ستيل عنده مشاكل في العين. عشان كده مهم جدا ان احنا ناخد اطفالنا لدكتور عيون ولو مره في السنه وهم لسه صغيرين عشان يكشف عليهم. ليه؟ لانه سنيلن تشارت دي اللي هي التشارت البيضاء يعني بتكشف حاجات معينة في النظر، زي قصر النظر تحديدا بيتكشف بدري جدا عن طريقها، أو طول النظر. ولكن في مشاكل تانية زي الاستجماتيزم بشكل عام السنيلن تشارت دي ما بتجيبهاش. فمهم جدا ان احنا مش بس نروح لدكتور الأطفال وخلاص وننبسط بالموضوع ده وعلى كده. مهم جدا ان احنا أطفالنا بالذات في مرحلة ما قبل المدرسة نوديهم لدكتور العيون ولو مرة واحدة، عشان لو في أي مشاكل تانية في العيون التشارت دي مش هي بس هتبقى كل الحل ومش هتجيب كل المشاكل. So now we know how big is the problem. We know how the eye works. We walked through this. How we develop our vision in general, like how the children develop their vision and other meaning milestones.
Okay. So I have some slides here it's from the Optometric Extension Program, which is a good organization for developmental optometry and kind of growth milestones and that kind of thing. Okay. So these are a few of the things. You know, when your baby is born, he's not seeing you clearly, right?
Okay.
Holds the gaze momentarily on bright objects, lights, things like that. And generally the eyes kind of move with the head, okay?
The eyes would move with the head.
Right, so pointing the entire head with the eye when he or she is seeing things. And also one eye may even look like it's kind of in a little bit, okay? Very normal,
so that's
normal. He doesn't have his good binocular system in place yet. And also kids have extra kind of folds of skin in the central part of their face. So that oftentimes appears to be the case, okay? As they develop, you know, they start to notice more things around them in their surroundings. The eyes will follow objects, looking at the parents when they're talking. You know, this is oftentimes not the case until 3-4 months in, okay? Looking at the hands, and slowly kind of the attention shifts farther away from their person. Okay? Around 20 to 28, that's when the child starts noticing kind of distant objects and things like that.
So they can start see far yet till like 28, which is about 7 months.
Yeah, it's down the line for sure. Okay. When you start noticing the convergence skills, so those eyes kind of working together, that's, you know, so this is where it says eyes turn inward towards the hands and toys. About 28 to 32 weeks, that's when we start to see that.
Like the accommodation and other meanings?
Convergence.
Convergence,
yeah. So looking at that object coming towards their nose and going away from the nose. Eye pursuits, when the eyes start moving kind of independently of the head, that's around 30 to 36 weeks. Okay, that's when you have what are called pursuit movements that kind of follow an object slowly moving across, or the jumps kind of from one thing to another.
So they can follow through, starting from...
That's when you start seeing less of this and more of kind of the eyes moving independently. Yeah. Okay. So just a bunch of things here. When they really start to respond to smiles, voices, your facial expressions, that's 40 to 48 weeks. So, you know, there's a kind of a normal course of development, and I think people panic sometimes because they have these unrealistic expectations of their child. But, you know, these are some good milestones to follow in terms of, you know, this is where my child, around this time is where he should be.
I have the first question here. One of the moms for 3-month-old boy, she says here she sees like some kind of tremulous eye movement sometimes.
Tremulous eye movement.
Is that normal? That's what she's asking.
3 months, it's not unusual, I'd say. There might be some type of nystagmus, especially kind of like endpoint nystagmus where the eyes are moving back and forth. The eyes are still a little bit uncoordinated at that point. Usually, we'll talk a little bit later in terms of when we really want to start seeing the kids in the office, and really it's around the 6-month mark or so. But if there are little, I would just kind of follow, you know, do your regular pediatrician visits, and if they spot anything, you know, I would still stick with that for now.
But sometimes if they're not developed, their eye fully developed yet, that can happen.
Yes.
Yes. الحقيقة برضه سؤالي لدكتور وانج عن ازاي اطفالنا التطور الطبيعي للنظر بتاع اطفالنا نتوقع ايه من اطفالنا في كل مرحله سنيه، لانه ده مهم جدا جدا جدا. الحقيقه قال في اول 6 أسابيع من الولاده الطفل يعني ما بيبقاش واعي قوي، احيانا ممكن نلاقي انه الطفل عينيه بتتحرك، مش بيركز قوي مع اللي بيتكلم معاه، وده في اول 6 أسابيع بيبقى نورمال. وقال انه العين بتتحرك مع حركه راس البيبي، ده كل اللي بيعمله البيبي في السن ده من اول يوم لحد 6 أسابيع. الحقيقه من 8 ل 12 اسبوع ممكن البيبي يبتدي يلاحظ الحاجات او الالوان البراقه، الالوان الفاتحه اللي بتبقى جامده قوي. لو في حاجه بتعمل ضوء بيبتدي الطفل يلاحظ الحاجات دي فقط من غير ما يبتدي يفهم برضو ايه الموضوع قوي. من سن 12 ل 16 اسبوع، لانه التشارتس دي مهمه جدا، قال ان هو بيبتدي يشوف حركه ايديه هو شخصيا، يعني تقريبا عند سن 4 شهور الطفل بيبتدي يلاحظ حركه ايديه هو شخصيا. الطفل يبتدي يشوف من بعيد امتى، او مثلا لما الاب والام يلعبوا معاه من بعيد، يبتدي الكلام ده من سن 20 ل 28 اسبوع. يعني ما بيحصلش الكلام ده فولي قبل سن 7 شهور، لانه ده مهم جدا جدا ان احنا نفهمه. كمان معلومه مهمه جدا ان الطفل ما بيبتديش يستجيب لحركه امه وابوه او كلام امه وابوه بشكل عام، او لما يتكلموا يبتدي يبص لهم وينتبه تماما معاهم غير من سن 40 اسبوع ل 48 اسبوع. ده تقريبا بيبقى من 9 شهور لسنه. فده مهم جدا ان احنا نفهم الكلام ده عشان ما نبقاش قلقانين على اولادنا، او نبقى حاسين ان هم النظر بتاعهم مش بينمو بشكل طبيعي. جالنا سؤال على الفيسبوك من بنت الرب من فيرجينيا، قالت انه عندها ولد عنده 3 شهور واسبوع، احيانا بيحصل حركات كده في عينه، او عينه بتتحرك بشكل اسرع من الطبيعي، زي ما دكتور وانج قال انه دي احيانا بتبقى طبيعيه جدا في الاطفال، لانه المخ او الاتصال ما بين المخ والعين ما بقاش لسه يعني على اكمل وجه، فاحيانا ده بيحصل في الاطفال، لانه ده مهم جدا جدا جدا. السؤال لو ده التطور الطبيعي بتاع النظر بتاع اطفالنا، احنا نقدر نعمل ايه في السن المبكر عشان نساعد اطفالنا بشكل عام، او نقدر نساعد ان نظرهم ينمو بشكل طبيعي؟
Can I follow up on that actually? So when I think of kind of, so you said tremulous eye movement.
Yes.
So I'm thinking nystagmus,
Okay.
right? What I worry about with nystagmus is that oftentimes the eye will be searching if there's something kind of in that central part of the vision that's not clear. Okay. So if the child isn't developing that normal central part of vision. So the things I would look for are, you know, a cataract would be the big thing.
Okay.
I would think. So if there is a cataract there, that's kind of, you know, I would say it's probably worth just checking out.
Follow up, isn't it?
Right. I wouldn't overreact at this time. Again, I say when we first bring in a kid to the office is usually around 6 months, but sometimes there's something there. So I think that
it's worth it.
It's worth checking out.
Okay.
Yeah.
برضو الحقيقه بنت الرب من فيرجينيا اللي بعت لنا السؤال قال كمان انه عشان احنا يعني هي بس بتقول، هي بعت السؤال بالعربي الحقيقه، بتقول انه بيعمل حركات يعني سريعه، فالحركات دي طبيعتها لو كانت من فوق لتحت غير لو كانت للجنب. حضرتك مش مبينه ده، بس قال في كل حال من الاحوال انه انها من الافضل برضو انه دكتور عيون يشوفها او يشوفه، لانه طفل ولد، و it's worth it ان هي تتشاف، ولو في اي مشاكل تتحل بشكل بدري. بس في معظم الاحوال الحركه دي بتبقى طبيعيه في الاطفال في السن ده، لكن عشان احنا مش عارفين طبيعه الحركه دي شكلها ايه، من الاحسن ان دكتور اطفال يشوفها. لو تقدري تبعت لنا ايه طبيعه حركه العين اللي هي مش مريحاكي في ابنك دي، هنتابع مع حضرتك واحنا موجودين على الهواء دلوقتي. So how can we help our kids' vision to develop normally? Like what can the parents does in early stage to help?
Sure. Okay. So we break this down to kind of an infant versus a toddler in these slides, okay? When you first think about your child, you know, at first they see black, white, red, high contrast types of things, okay? Just get your kid to start noticing these things, you know, a little closer. Infant, you know, so that first year of development, I'd say, okay? It's like toys that are bright, contrasting colors, allow them to really start integrating kind of their vision with their other senses, so touch, pull, kick the different toys, notice the toys, give them different shapes and textures, just so, again, they're integrating their senses of their eyes as well as their other senses as well.
Okay.
Encourage tummy time. So there's a lot of development with movement and your other senses and vision that occurs simultaneously, okay?
I just want to go back to this point. So we can get him toys that's like bright and light?
Yes.
So to help him to follow through?
Yeah, just those are the things that your child would notice early on. So that, you know, try to start using that vision early on if possible. Okay, pay attention, use that vision. But again, movement, vision, you know, these things kind of develop simultaneously. So all the usual things that your pediatrician tells you to do, such as doing the tummy time, getting them to notice both sides of the bodies. There are certain things.
That's my question. How's the tummy time help?
It's so there's certain schools of thoughts in terms of developmental optometry where they talk about primitive reflexes and kind of getting through a series of primitive reflexes and regular development, and certain schools say that, you know, there are certain primitive reflexes that are retained, that the kid doesn't get past this developmental phase, and therefore he has these type of eye movement disorders or convergence disorders or focusing disorders.
Okay.
So really encouraging getting on his tummy, starting to use both sides of the body, crawling, creeping, and using that in coordination with kind of grabbing things on the side and grabbing things on the side. So it helps the
binocularity too?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. There's also schools in which we talk about bilateral integration, which is using both eyes of the bodies, and laterality, which is understanding his or her lefts and rights, and directionality, which is understanding the direction of symbols and letters and numbers. So all of these we feel like, you know, get him to just follow that regular developmental course.
So those are the infants?
These are infants.
Okay, what about the toddlers?
So toddlers or preschool age kids, one thing I always encourage is get your kid outdoors.
Okay.
Okay?
So kick
the
him
world out there,
Okay.
right? Not the world here, not the world on your iPad or your phone and that kind of thing. These things are related to the development of nearsightedness. This type of stuff is what a kid should be doing, the world out there, okay? So encouraging outdoor play. Okay. Encouraging ocular motor activities, things where he's following a ball across the field.
Sports.
Things where he has to look quickly here, look quickly there, and developing the saccadic, kind of those eye jumps skills.
Okay.
Yeah. And also things that involve visual attention and vision processing. So looking at puzzles, problem solving, visual memory games in which they see something and they have to recreate it. Eye-hand coordination and really engaging them when you're reading to a child, you know, get him to pay attention to the words as you're reading it. Okay, starting to understand the structures of those words and what letters make what sounds.
So memory games still help the vision?
Memory games are fantastic, yeah. Okay. They find that visual memory is one of the key things in terms of reading comprehension, actually.
هي سؤال مهم جدا جدا جدا، ويمكن كل الآباء والأمهات بيسألوا السؤال ده، أعمل إيه عشان أساعد النظر بتاع ابني؟ فالحقيقة دكتور وانج قسمهم مرحلتين، قسمهم في مرحلة الطفولة المبكرة اللي هي أول سنة من حياتهم، إنه الآباء والأمهات عليهم دور إن هم يساعدوا الفيجن بتاع أولادهم أو النظر بتاع أولادهم عشان ينمو بشكل طبيعي. قال في أول سنة من الطفولة مهم جدا إن إحنا نجيب لأولادنا اللعب اللي هي فيها ألوان براقة، اللي فيه كونتراست كبير، وقال يمكن أكتر 3 ألوان بيعرف الطفل يلاحظها بشكل كويس جدا: الابيض، الاسود، الاحمر، الالوان اللي فيها كونتراست عالي او في اختلاف ما بينها بشكل كبير جدا، دي بتجذب نظر الطفل بشكل كبير. فالالعاب او التويز دي مهمه جدا ان احنا نجيبها لاولادنا ودايما نلعب بيها معاهم في سن مبكر في اول سنه، وكمان نساعدهم ان هم يمسكوها، يلمسوها، يتابعوها وهي بتتحرك قدامهم، لانه ده بيساعد النظر بشكل بتاعهم كبير جدا. ده بيساعد النظر المباشر او اللي بنسميه السنترال، يعني المركزي، بشكل مباشر جدا للاطفال. قال كمان من الحاجات المهمه جدا، وده كل دكاتره الاطفال هنا بيشجعوا ده، اللي هو التامي تايم، اللي هو انه الطفل يبقى زي ما بنقول نحطه على بطنه بشكل كبير، لانه الطفل بيبتدي يحرك رقبته يمين وشمال وبيبتدي يكتشف العالم اللي حواليه. فده بيساعد فكره النظر الجانبي، مش بس النظر السنترال اللي في النص، ده بيساعد كمان النظر الجانبي، انه الطفل وهو نايم على بطنه وبيحاول يطلع راسه لفوق ويكتشف العالم اللي حواليه، ده بيساعد كمان النظر، بيوسع الرؤية بتاعته أو بيوسع مدى الرؤية الجانبية، لأنه ده بيبقى مهم جدا جدا للأطفال في السن ده. حاجتين مهمين نعملهم للأطفال في أول سنة: اللعب اللي هي فيها ألوان براقة وفيها كونتراست كبير مع بعضها، نلعب بيه معاها، نخليهم يحاولوا يلمسوها أو يتتبعوها لأنه ده مهم جدا. حاجة تانية التامي تايم، أو إنه الطفل يبقى على بطنه، لأنه ده بيساعد إنه يوسع الرؤية أو النظر الجانبي بتاعه بشكل كبير جدا. الأطفال اللي في سن المدرسة زي ما دكتور وانج قال إنه الرياضة بتساعدهم يحاولوا يلعبوا بكورة، أي حاجة هم يقدروا يتتبعوها بنظرهم، بينمي كمان فكرة رد الفعل السريع عندهم، لأنه ده بيساعد النظر بشكل كبير جدا. دي حاجات نقدر نعملها نساعد بيها إنه أولادنا النظر بتاعهم ينمو بشكل طبيعي، وبشكل كمان يعني يساعدهم على إن هم ينموا نظرهم بشكل كبير جدا. وكمان هيساعدنا احنا كآباء وأمهات إنه نكتشف إنه لو في مشكلة سواء في النظر المركزي أو في الجانبي للأطفال، لأنه ده هيساعدنا احنا نفهم إنه لو هم عندهم مشاكل أو مش بيقدروا يتابعوا حاجة بشكل مظبوط. So when I bring my kid to you at the office and you do comprehensive eye exam, what do you mean by comprehensive eye exam?
Okay.
Like what you're doing, what you're looking for.
Sure. So we always start every comprehensive eye exam with thorough history, right? Family history as well as kind of developmental history, patient history as well. We talk about the chief complaints, and then the things that you typically expect, right? How is my eye seeing? What is his prescription? But in addition to that, we look at how are his eyes working together? How are they coordinated? Are they converging? Are they diverging? Are they tracking things correctly? And are they focusing correctly?
Okay.
Okay. We also look at color vision, especially in boys. And then we take an overall look at the health of the eyes. Okay. This is anything from pupil reflexes to the pressures to whether, visual field testing, seeing their peripheral vision testing, and getting a good sense of the structures in front of the eye and in the back of the eye as well.
And how often should we bring our kids to you to check in?
Okay. So we will talk a little bit about the infancy program later, but basically that first eye exam, 6 months to 1 year.
Okay.
That's when we want to see your typical child.
Okay.
If there is some type of issues, if they're not following kind of those developmental norms that I talked about before, for sure, it's better to be safe than sorry. Bring in your child to get an office visit at the very least.
Okay. So once a year in the first 2 years?
So once in that 6 to 12 month range, once before preschool, so around 3 years of age, and once before kindergarten, I would say, so around 5 years of age.
Okay.
After that, I'd say probably an annual or biannual exam thereafter.
الحقيقة برضو سؤالي لدكتور وانج عن لما احنا يعني بنودي اطفالنا للدكتور بتاع النظر بتاع الاطفال، هو بيبص على ايه بالظبط؟ قال ان هو بيبص على قوة نظرهم. احنا عندنا في مصر دايما بنحط الفكرة انها 6/6، هنا بيبقى 20/20، وبنشوف بالظبط قوة نظرهم بتبقى عاملة ازاي. كمان بيبص على فكرة حكاية طول النظر او قصر النظر عند الاطفال، بيشوف كمان قدرتهم على تمييز الالوان، لانه احيانا بيبقى عمل الوان بيكتشف من سن مبكر جدا في الاطفال، وبيبقى مقدمة لمشاكل تانية. فمن المهم ان احنا نكتشفه بدري، وبالذات بيبقى في الاولاد اكتر من البنات. قال كمان ان احنا المفروض نودي اطفالنا في الرينج بتاع من 6 شهور لسنة مرة لدكتور العيون عشان يبص عليهم، مرة في السنة التانية، مرة قبل سن المدرسة اللي هو قبل سن الحضانة، وبعد كده من سن 6 ل 18 سنة بنروح لدكتور النظر مرة واحدة في السنة، مرتين بالكتير قوي. يا ريت نحط التشارت بتاع recommended eye exam frequency، لأنه مهم جدا إنه السادة المشاهدين يبقوا شايفينها، عشان زي ما احنا قلنا 80% من التعليم بيبقى عن طريق النظر. مهم جدا إن حضراتكم تشوفوا الحاجات دي. يا ريت نحطها على الشاشة بالظبط كده، إنه في أول سنتين لازم مرة من 6 ل 12 شهر، ودي موجودة على اليمين، هتلاقوا حضراتكم ما بين 6 شهور ل 12 شهر. بعد كده من سن 3 ل 5 سنين مرة اتليست قبل ما يدخلوا الحضانة، وبعد كده من 6 ل 18 سنة نودي أطفالنا للدكتور مرة واحدة في السنة، عشان ده مهم جدا جدا جدا. هناخد الحقيقة بريك مع حضراتكم ونرجع. احنا كده خدنا فكرة عامة عن يعني ايه هو التطور الطبيعي بتاع النظر، ايه هو العينين كعضو بيشتغل ازاي. هنرجع نتكلم مع حضراتكم في نوع من المشاكل. هنبتدي بطول النظر وقصر النظر عند الأطفال، ازاي نصلحه، ازاي نكتشفه، ازاي أعراضه، كمان ايه طرق العلاج بتاعته. هناخد بريك ونرجع مع حضراتكم نتكلم على الأمراض المختلفة للأطفال، لنظر الأطفال وطرق العلاج بتاعها. ناخد بريك ونرجع مع حضراتكم تاني.
Are you tired of being overweight? Do you suffer from diabetes? Do you suffer from hypertension? Do you suffer from obstructive sleep apnea? Do you suffer from hypercholesterolemia? Have you suffered from heart attacks in the past? Strokes in the past? Are you tired of being ostracized in public? Well, I have a solution for you. Robotic bariatric surgery. This can completely change your life. I'm Dr. Bobby Baskerau. I'm a robotic bariatric surgeon. I do robotic weight loss surgery, which can completely change your life. I offer 3 different types of surgeries that can completely change your life: the sleeve gastrectomy, the lap band, and the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. One thing that's very unique about our program is that we have a dietitian, and you will get counseled on what to eat, what not to eat, and how to optimize the utilization of your tool for good weight loss.
Hi, and welcome to the first episode of White Coat. I'm Tamer, Meshel, the host of the new show, White Coat.
And people began to drink alcohol as a social lubricant, and from there they began to misuse it, and they abuse it.
Not focus so much on the chemical and think more of the brain. In other words, the person.
Behavioral interventions are crucial. What we have to recognize is a non-judgmental, loving, compassionate support.
The best way to treat addiction is to prevent it, okay? So be very mindful, be educated, work with a doctor that knows what they're prescribed.
I would hope through programs like yours, getting the word out, that people understand it's not that they're bad people, it's just that they're ill.
Take care of your sleep if you want to sleep. Go to bed at about the same time every day.
Most of our communities across the country are struggling in one way or another with drugs. It affects our level of productivity, it affects our kids in schools.
You don't want to take anybody for granted. I mean, Henry and I, for instance, when he does the dishes every night, which he loves to do for some reason, I always thank him.
We can have excellent diabetes control, and we can prevent most complications if we start early enough.
To discontinue any sugary drinks or only have 1 cup a day. Number 2, be aware of your calories.
Thank you for your overwhelming support and your wonderful interaction with White Coat. أهلا بحضراتكم في الجزء الأخير معانا النهاردة من أمراض النظر للأطفال وإزاي نقدر نعالجهم. الحقيقة جاي لنا أسئلة كتير. هنبتدي بطول النظر وقصر النظر عند الأطفال وإزاي نقدر نعالجهم، ولكن في سؤال لدكتور وانج. بنت الرب هنا من كاليفورنيا، بنتها عندها 9 سنين، عندها 3 درجات -3 قصر النظر، وبتسأل إذا الكونتاكت لينسز كمان بتبقى كويسة للأطفال في السن ده. 9 years old girl, and she has -3 myopia.
Okay.
And she's wearing eyeglasses, and her mom is asking is contact lens would be a good option for her.
Okay. So my general rule for contact lenses is age isn't the determining factor. It's really how responsible is this kid, right? Because with contact lens care, the main thing I worry about is will this kid be compliant with taking out those lenses, cleaning them, making sure that, you know, if it is a monthly lens, for example, that she is tossing those at the end of the month. You know, those are things that I'm concerned about. So it's really about how responsible is your child, how well is your child able to clean the lenses. I mean, the best thing to do for kids is put them in a daily lens, a lens that she can put in, toss at the end of the day. Make sure that she's not napping in them, things like that, you know, just responsible. Is your child responsible enough to do it?
When do you think they can be responsible? Like, what's your recommendation?
It's really a maturity level. You know, I get a good sense when a kid is in the room, whether I think he or she is responsible. I get a good sense of the parent as well, whether the parent, you know, some parents are very invested and they'll help the kid. They'll put the lenses on, they'll take them off. That's often the case when a kid needs contact lenses. Let's say a 3-year-old kid needs contact lenses. Can the parent responsibly put this lens on their child and take it off as well?
So it depends on how responsible is the kid more than the age.
Yeah.
So it can work if this 9 years
It can
old.
work. 9 years, yeah, no problem for a 9-year-old.
الحقيقة بنت الرب اللي بعت لنا السؤال بتقول إنه بنتها عندها قصر نظر -3 بتلبس نظارة والدكتور قال لها إنه هيتطور فهي بتسأل على الكونتاكت لينسز للأطفال في سن 9 سنين. هي دكتور وانج قال إن هو مش بالسن ولكن بفكرة الطفل ده قد إيه هو ممكن يبقى مسؤول عن إنه بيحط العدسة ويشيلها والكلام ده كله. قال إنه أحسن حاجة للأطفال دي إنه العدسات اليومية اللي هي بتتشال وتتحط وفي آخر اليوم بتترمي. فده ممكن يبقى حل كويس قوي للطفلة اللي هي في سن 9 سنين. So Dr. Wang, we talked about the normal. What should we do in the screening and all that stuff. So let's talk about the disease, the disorders. Let's start with the refractive disorders.
Okay.
So first, how can I detect as a dad or a mom that my kid might suffer from refractive disorders?
Okay.
What are the symptoms?
So refractive error is just your kid needs glasses, right? So symptoms, the child will have blurry vision. The question is what distance, okay? Is it something after an hour of reading, the words up close get really fuzzy? That's likely farsightedness or hyperopia. Is it something in which the child can't see the board? That's likely nearsightedness. Is it something in which the child struggles at every distance? That may be astigmatism. Okay. Whether the child frequently rubs his eyes as he's reading or she's reading, and squinting, right? Squinting is the classic. Needing to see, so I'm going to squint my eye to correct that astigmatism, to correct that nearsightedness myself.
So, let me rephrase the question. What's the earliest sign they can detect?
Blurry vision is usually the first thing.
So it depends on the kid.
Yeah.
If he's complaining of
that's the tricky part. So you'll see this in behavior as well, right? Is my kid walking right up to the TV to watch it? Is my child avoiding reading because after 15 minutes he just can't do it anymore? Okay. So not only does your child complain about it, but are there behaviors that are consistent with that as well?
And squinting would be a late sign for it?
Squinting is just a sign. You know, they see it has to do with the depth of focus. When a more centralized light gets into your eye, it looks a little bit clearer. Okay. Squinting, that's another behavioral sign that you'll see. Okay. So maybe your child doesn't complain about it, but you always see him narrowing his eyes to see something in the distance.
الحقيقة هنبتدي مع حضراتكم بفكرة أو مجموعة الأمراض اللي هي خاصة بالريفراكشن أو انعكاس الضوء ده على الشبكية. بيبقى عندنا 3 أنواع من الأمراض بشكل عام. طبعا زي ما حضراتكم عارفين طول النظر، قصر النظر، أو الاستجماتيزم بشكل عام. بالحقيقة سألت دكتور وانج عن إيه هي الأعراض المبكرة اللي أقدر أنا لما أبص على ابني أعرف إن هو بيعاني من مشكلة من دول. قال رقم 1 إنه الابن نفسه يشتكي ان الحاجات قدامه مزغلله، مش شايف كويس وهو بيذاكر، مش شايف كويس التلفزيون من بعيد فلازم يقرب. ففكره الزغلله اللي ابني بيشتكي بيها دي مهم جدا ان انا في سن مبكر القط ده واخده للدكتور عشان ده مهم جدا جدا. كمان واحدة من الحاجات المهمة جدا إنه دايما نلاقي ابني بيهرش في عينه. ودي أحيانا الأطفال ما بيعرفوش يشتكوا، يقولوا الحاجة مزغللة، بيفكر إن هو يهرش في عينه عشان يشوف بشكل أفضل بشكل عام. فدي برضو الهرش المستمر في العين للأطفال ده مهم جدا إن أنا كمان أخده لدكتور العيون وأشوف ده. آخر حاجة السكوينتنج، أو إنه عينه تلاقيه، يعني كلنا عارفين بشكل اللي هو بيحول، يعني الأب والأم يقولوا أنا بحس إنه ابني بيحول وهو بيشوف، أو عينه بتدخل لجوه وهو بيشوف، بالذات لما يحاول يركز في حاجة بشكل كبير جدا. كل دي أعراض كل أب وأم لازم ينتبه لها بشكل كبير جدا، ومن فضل حضراتكم تاخدوا أولادكم على الدكتور على طول عشان نشوف إيه المشكلة. So what types of refractive errors do we have, and what are the options to treat each of them?
Okay, so it's a little complicated, but hyperopia or farsightedness, that just means that because of the structure of the cornea and because of the length of the eye.
We have this nice slide 16.
Oh, we do have a slide.
Will show like what you're talking about exactly to, to let our viewers understand it.
Hyperopia is in the bottom right there. And basically what it says is that the lens is either, well, it's really the cornea. The cornea is kind of too weak, or the eye is too short, okay? Light basically comes in focus most clearly behind the retina. As a result, you know, when you focus or strain your eyes, that actually brings that light forward. So basically what someone with hyperopia is he is always focusing or straining his eyes to get something clear.
So we're trying to restrain our lens to be more convex.
Yes, correct. So he's always straining, the child is always straining his eyes to get something clear, okay? Even in infinite distance, even 20 feet away, there's some effort there to get something clear. And then when you think about it, if on top of that, your child is reading something, let's say 40 centimeters away, then he's doing that work of getting something clear in the distance, plus this work of getting something clear up close. So the child is doing double the work to get something clear.
So in other meaning, just to show it to our viewers, the reading from far.
Yes, they may push things away. He might avoid reading altogether. Okay.
And what happened again in the eye? Like the object itself fall behind the retina.
The image of the object will be behind the retina, and that lens will have to focus in order to bring it back to the retina.
That's for hyperopia.
That's for hyperopia. Yeah, and then we use plus lenses to kind of give the eye more strength in order to get something clear. Basically.
So the lens will be more thick.
The lens will be more thick in the middle. With myopia, the eyes are too strong. Light enters the eye and it becomes in focus at a point in front of the retina. Now we can't relax our eyes more to push it back to the back of the retina.
Which is the top part of slide 16.
Right. So the lens is too strong or the eye is too long. The eye is too long is key. This is something that we find in kids that are nearsighted and getting more nearsighted. That eye is actually growing, the axial length or the length of that eye is growing over time. So we use minus lenses to kind of weaken that whole system and push that light back to the back of the retina.
Which should be thick toward the periphery, or?
Thick towards the periphery, thinner in the middle. Correct.
So what are the other refractive errors that kids might have?
And the other thing is astigmatism. So astigmatism means that the eye, instead of being round, is more like a football shape.
So the curvature of the cornea is not proper.
It can be, yes, exactly. A lot of it is corneal. And then what we find is that light becomes kind of most in focus at two different points. It might be kind of one in front of the retina, one behind the retina. They may be both in front of the retina. They may be both behind the retina. But you need lenses either way to kind of bring those 2 points of light together.
And the astigmatism patient, they cannot see straight lines.
They cannot see. Everything will appear very blurry to them, basically. Normal course of development, kids usually begin hyperopic. And then slowly as that eye grows, they become more kind of normal vision over time. Kids that stay hyperopic, they definitely are more at risk of what's called amblyopia, which we'll talk about later, as well as strabismus or an eye turn, which we'll talk about later as well.
I have a question here. If you have astigmatism, it might lead to which, like, hyperopia or myopia more?
So you can have astigmatism in which again, the two lights are both in front of the eye. Therefore, it's kind of hyperopic.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's myopic astigmatism.
Myopic, yeah.
It can be in which both of those lights are behind the eye, in which case it would be hyperopic, or it could be kind of in between. So one light's in front and one light's in
Can
back.
be one eye myopic with astigmatism and one eye
One
hyperopic?
meridian is what we call it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Another question, how is driving with astigmatism patients in general?
I mean, generally speaking, if the astigmatism is over a certain amount, let's say 0.75 or more, you know, we're going to want to get them corrected.
Okay.
Okay.
And they cannot stay in a straight line. I know in the freeway, those patients have astigmatism when they cannot stay straight in the lane.
This may be the case, depending on how bad it is, right? Okay. A few stats, though. Myopia, they find as highest in Hispanics and Asians, hyperopia in white non-Hispanics.
Okay.
Astigmatism in Hispanics and Asians as well.
Okay.
Most of the nearsightedness develops during school age, so between the age of 9 and 13. And, you know, there's a lot of noise out there now about myopia, nearsightedness, controlling nearsightedness. A recent study in China found that the prevalence of nearsightedness in those high school students, in 2001, it was already 79.5%. In 2015, it was 87.7%
wow.
of those kids.
So 9 out of 10 almost they're myopic.
Yeah, so it's definitely an epidemic, and it's something that we treat in our office in terms of myopia control and how bad that nearsightedness is getting.
Okay. I have a question here. It might be a general question. They're asking which one is worse, myopia or hyperopia. So,
I mean, you're talking about refractive error. You're also talking about the magnitude of refractive error, right?
Okay.
So in a hyperopic prescription, that you'll find a plus in that prescription. So like a +8, a +5, a +1, okay? So if your child's a +1, probably no symptoms,
okay?
Okay? Myopia, same thing. You know, you'll find a minus in front of the prescription, -1, -5, -8. -8 is very hard to see.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Outside of here, everything will be blurry.
Okay.
But the same with hyperopia. If your child is highly hyperopic, it's just so much struggle to get things clear, even in the distance, and especially up close. So it just depends. It depends on both what your child has as well as kind of the degree.
Okay.
You know, how much of it.
مهم جدا الموضوع اللي احنا بنتكلم فيه، لانه معظم اطفالنا، وزي ما دكتور وانج قال الاحصائيات بتقول انه دلوقتي تقريبا 87% من الاطفال في الصين، احصائيات اتعملت في الصين، بيعانوا من قصر النظر. عندنا 3 مشاكل في موضوع الريفراكشن او انعكاس الصوره، سواء قدام الشبكيه او خلف الشبكيه، اللي هم بنسميهم طول النظر او قصر النظر او الاستجماتيزم في الاطفال، ودول اشهر 3 مشاكل بيبقوا موجودين في اطفالنا. الحقيقه هرجع تاني لسلايد 16 لانه مهمه جدا السلايد دي، وهوري حضراتكم ايه الفرق ما بين قصر النظر وطول النظر بشكل عام. الجزء اللي فوق او العينين اللي حضراتكم شايفينهم فوق، هو ده قصر النظر بشكل عام. بشكل عام عشان حضراتكم تبقى متخيلين الموقف، المفروض الصوره لما نشوفها تقع على الشبكيه بالظبط، اللي هو اخر الجزء الاصفر اللي ورا. طيب بيحصل ايه في قصر النظر؟ اللي بيحصل انه الصور بتقع قدام الشبكيه وقبل الشبكيه بفتره، وبالتالي ما بتتركزش على الشبكيه، وبالتالي بنشوف مزغلل بشكل كبير جدا. لو نقدر نجيب السهم على تقاطع الخطين الزرق اللي فوق ده، انه الصوره بتقع قبل الشبكيه بشكل عام من فوق. الجزء الثاني اللي تحت، انه حضراتكم شايفين ان الصوره بتقع خلف الشبكيه، خلف الجزء الاصفر ده اللي هو التقاطع. نكمل اكتر مع التقاطع لليمين بالظبط كده، الصوره بتقع هنا خلف الشبكيه. هرجع فوق تاني، الصوره بتطلع التقاطع قدام الشبكيه، وبالتالي فوق ده بنسميه قصر النظر، تحت بنسميه طول النظر. وده في الاول وفي الاخر بيخلي الطفل مزغلل ومش قادر يشوف كويس، لانه الصوره ما بتقعش على الشبكيه بالظبط اللي هي المفروض الصوره تقع عليها عشان نشوف الموضوع بشكل واضح. طيب بيحصل ايه لما في طول النظر او قصر النظر؟ الاثنين بيبقى الطفل مزغلل مش قادر يشوف كويس، وده مهم جدا ان احنا واحده واحده على اطفالنا. لما الطفل يبقى مزغلل ومش شايف، مش لازم دايما في جزء كبير من العقيدة بتاعتنا إنه الطفل لما بيقول مزغلل ومش شايف إنه بيبقى مش عايز يذاكر. لا، أحيانا لازم ناخد الموضوع سيريس مع أطفالنا. لو مزغلل فعلا ناخده للدكتور. طيب، حاجة مهمة كمان إنه في القصة دي إنه طول النظر أو قصر النظر مهم جدا إن أنا ألاحظ ابني. قصر النظر بشكل عام هنلاقي أطفالنا في الفصل بيبصوا على السبورة، بيحاولوا يقربوا قوي عشان يشوفوا السبورة من قريب. كمان وهم بيذاكروا بلاقي الطفل almost لازق عينه في الحاجة اللي قدامه عشان يشوفها بشكل واضح. ده للأطفال اللي بيعانوا من قصر النظر. طول النظر بنلاقي دايما الطفل بيحاول يرجع لورا عشان يشوف الموضوع بشكل أوضح، لأنه العدسة جوه العين نفسها تكورها بيبقى أقل من المطلوب، وبالتالي هو لازم يركز في الحاجة عشان الصورة زي ما أنا قلت لحضراتكم تقع على شبكية العين بالظبط. والأطفال دي عادة بتبتدي بتشوف من بعيد أحسن ما بتشوف من قريب، لأنه لو ابتدت تذاكر على الديستنس الطبيعية أو المسافة الطبيعية برضو بتبقى مزغللة. الحاجة الثالثة اللي مهمة جدا نعرفها وبتبقى بتعمل مشاكل كبيرة جدا في أولادنا اللي هي الأستجماتيزم. الأستجماتيزم الحقيقة هو المشكلة طول النظر أو قصر النظر. المشكلة الحقيقية بتبقى في عدسة العين، ولكن الأستجماتيزم بيبقى المشكلة دايما في درجة تكور القرنية. لو نقدر معلش نجيب سلايد 2 مع بعض ونشوف فكرة الكورنيا نفسها. بيبقى درجة تكور القرنية نفسها أو الكورنيا بيبقى مش الطبيعي زي ما حضراتكم شايفين، وده بيبقى مهم جدا ان احنا نفهم الاستجماتيزم اللي بيحصل لأطفالنا مشكلة في القرنية مش في العدسة. حاجة ثالثة مهمة جدا زي ما قال دكتور وانج كمان، انه الناس اللي عندهم استجماتيزم ما بيقدروش يشوفوا الحاجات في خطوط مستقيمة، دايما يشوفوا فيها ان هي فيها زي تجاعيد او ما بتبقاش على استقامتها. يمكن انا كمان هزرت معاه بقول له احنا بنقدر نشوف ده على الفري واي. الناس اللي ما بتقدرش تمشي في اللين بشكل مستقيم دايما تلاقيه رايح جاي يمين وشمال جوه اللين نفسه. عادة بيبقى حاجة من اتنين، يا عنده استجماتيزم يا اما بيلعب في التليفون. طبعا بيلعبوا في التليفون كتير قوي يعني بيبعتوا مسجات وهم سايقين، ولكن جزء كبير جدا لو انت مش عامل حاجة بس مش قادر تمشي في خط مستقيم جوه اللين بتاعك بيبقى فيه استجماتيزم بشكل كبير جدا. فمهم جدا ان احنا ال3 مشاكل اللي بيبقوا عند اطفالنا طول النظر، قصر النظر او الاستجماتيزم بيبتدوا عادة بزغللة في العين، وانه الاطفال بتبقى مش شايفة كويس يا من بعيد يا من قريب، ما بيقدروش بيشوفوا الحاجات بشكل واضح وبشكل يعني بالشكل المفروض اللي هم يشوفوه. So we have a phone call from California first. عاطف اتفضل حضرتك على الهواء. عاطف اتفضل. Hello. Hello. طيب هنحاول ندخل حضرتك تاني على الهواء. We lost the connection. So now we're talking about the refractive errors. We explained to our viewers what are the refractive errors.
Sure.
The 3 different kinds of refractive errors. What do you do for refractive errors?
Okay. So in other words, just overall on a refractive error. Hyperopia, that farsightedness, pretty stable, okay? Myopia, astigmatism, pretty stable, unless there's some type of disease connected to it.
I'll stop you here. When you say very stable, what kind of degree? Like we're talking about how many degrees?
Should stay the same. Hyperopia should stay about the same. It doesn't really increase over time. Right. Astigmatism, pretty stable. I'm going to say all of these are stable unless there's some type of disease condition. Astigmatism, it doesn't really change. When you're a baby, you have more of it. As your eyes turn more normal, grow, it gets to a pretty normal, stable
with the presbyopia.
But yes, presbyopia is later. But astigmatism, unless you have some type of thinning, it's called ectasia in your eye, in that case, it could actually increase. Okay. So unless there's disease. Myopia, it increases.
Okay.
Okay.
So
myopia
hyperopia is more stable than myopia.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Myopia is a public health kind of crisis right now.
Or instead of saying myopia or hyperopia, let's say farsight or nearsight to make it easier for our viewers in a simpler language.
Yeah, so nearsightedness is kind of it's a big public health problem because eyes, as we're spending more time on computers, books, studying more, studying later, you know, myopia is nearsightedness is getting worse.
Okay.
It's increasing in the percentage of kids that have it. It's increasing in terms of magnitude.
Okay.
What we find is the eye is growing over time. As anything grows, there's limits to how much it can grow, okay? So really big, highly nearsighted eyes, they're thin. They're thin around the periphery, you know? There's what's called lattice degeneration. There's retinal holes or tears or detachments can happen.
So retinal detachment can happen from the progressive myopia?
Because of the thinning of the retina.
Okay.
Okay. And then they're even finding things that look like age-related macular degeneration, but they're at the back of the eye and they're in 40-year-olds rather than like 60-year-olds.
Okay.
So it is, you know, there's health risk to these eyes continuing to grow.
Okay. هي دكتور وانج قال انه طول النظر او الهايبروبيا بيبقى طول بالوقت بيبقى ستيبل او بيبقى مستقر اكتر، ولكن قصر النظر في اطفالنا ممكن يؤدي لمشاكل كبيره جدا، اهمهم واخطرهم على الاطلاق هو انفصال الشبكيه. لسه هنرجع مع العلاج بتاع كل دول، ولكن هناخد تليفون معانا من عاطف من كاليفورنيا. حضرتك على الهواء، اتفضل.
صباح الخير. انا بشكركم كتير على البرنامج بتاعكم. البرنامج جميل جدا وبشكر مجهودك يا دكتور، لان انت فعلا يعني to the point and very very informative, so thank you very much.
اتفضل.
انا كنت عايز اسال سؤال in general و especially for me. I had a partially detached retina about a year and a half ago, and it was a very painful treatment, but thank God يعني الحمد لله كل حاجة كويسة. But my fear is it happens from nowhere, and I don't know what could I do to prevent this from happening again. As the doctor told me, it can happen anytime and for no reason. So I just don't know really. I want an honest opinion.
طيب أنا هاخد السؤالين بتوع حضرتك سؤال. He has partial retinal detachment, and his doctor told him it can happen again. It was a very painful experience.
Okay.
So his first question, how to prevent retinal detachment from happening again?
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, you have certain risk factors for retinal detachments, and therefore you're at risk for it. I mean, really the best thing is to get routinely monitored, routinely dilated, and have them look at that area of the eye. You know, the treatment should have involved probably like laser around the area of detachment. Sometimes they put a buckle around the eye. You know, that really stabilizes that area of detachment very well.
أستاذ عاطف، حضرتك عندك قصر نظر أو طول نظر، يعني الموضوع ابتدى إزاي عشان يوصل لفكرة انفصال الشبكية؟ يعني إيه تاريخ المرض؟
أنا بلبس نظارة، ما بشوفش الحاجات البعيدة. بشوف very good من غير نظارة.
اللي هو الكلاسيك. حضرتك بتشوف الحاجات البعيدة ولا مش بتشوفها؟
لا، مش بشوف الحاجات البعيدة في الواي والساينز الكبيرة دي، حتى التلفزيون لازم ألبس نظارة، لكن بشوف القراية عادية خالص.
He's myopic.
Okay.
That's why he got to the point of retinal detachment.
The big thing is watch for symptoms. Watch for flashes of light. Watch for a sudden increase of floaters. Watch for anything that looks like a curtain or a veil covering part of the vision, like a new curtain or veil that's covering part of the vision.
Okay.
That's really key, as well as those regular follow-ups.
Okay. سؤال حضرتك الأولاني كان عن إزاي أمنع الديتاتشمنت أو الانفصال الشبكي ده إنه يحصل تاني. زي ما دكتور وانج قال، في 3 حاجات مهمين. حضرتك تو واتش الساينز بتاع الديتاتشمنت اللي هي اولها انه يحصل فلاش لايتس، اكيد حضرتك مريت بده قبل كده، او الفلوترز اللي هي الحاجات اللي بتحس انه هي حاجات ماشيه قدام عينيك بتبقى احيانا موجوده. الحاجه الثالثه اللي دكتور وانج قالها انه حضرتك تصحح قصر النظر اللي عندك ودايما تبقى لابس نظارتك. الحاجه الرابعه المهمه والاخيره قبل ما اخد سؤال حضرتك الثاني، فكرة المونيتور الدايم مع الدكتور بتاعك، ما تفوتش مواعيد، دايما تتابع مع الدكتور بتاع حضرتك، عشان المتابعة أو الفولو أب مهم جدا، إنه حضرتك تلقط الحاجات دي أو هو يلقط الحاجات دي بدري ويقدر يعالج حضرتك. حضرتك ليك سؤال تاني؟
Very dry eyes, using the drops, but it's getting worse and worse. لدرجة إن الواحد لما بيصحى الصبح it looks there's like sand in my eyes, and I have to use the drops. what can I do to cure this؟ أنا عارف إن بحط نقط، بس في حاجة الواحد يعملها، ياخد دواء، في فيتامين، في حاجة تقلل شوية من الدراينس دي، ولا what should we do؟
شوية هنطلع من الموضوع ده، بس هخلي دكتور وانج يجاوب حضرتك. Quick guidelines for dry eye.
So dry eye is actually a multi-factor. There's a lot of different factors that play into it.
He feels like sand.
Yeah, very common. I'd say there's a lot of different treatment options for dry eye. You know, there's certain drops nowadays that change the physiology of the eye. There are hot compresses if it has to do with meibomian glands around the eyes, hot compresses and massage of the eye.
Let's just say quick guidelines.
I would say go in for a specialty visit for this, because there really are so many factors that can play into it. You know, nearby here, there's the University Eye Center over in Anaheim. It's part of the Southern California College of Optometry. They do all these different tests to find out exactly what is the cause of that dry eye and how to specifically treat it based on those causes.
زي ما دكتور وانج قال لحضرتك انه احيانا بتبقى الكمادات الدافيه على عينك بتبقى دي حاجه مهمه الصبح، ولكن اهم من ده كله انه العين، جفاف العين بشكل عام بيبقى له اسباب كتير تانية لازم يوصلوا لايه السبب بتاع الموضوع ده. الحقيقه في سنس ان حضرتك من هنا من كاليفورنيا، هوبفلي ان حضرتك تبقى من ساذرن كاليفورنيا. لو حضرتك تسيب رقمك هكلم حضرتك بعد الحلقه واقول لحضرتك المكان اللي قال عليه دكتور وانج اللي تقدر تروح ويشوفوا ايه اسباب الدراينس اللي موجود في الاي. بشكر حضرتك لاتصالك. Back to the treatment option for refractive errors.
Okay, got it. Pretty basic. Glasses, contact lenses. And in terms of the myopia control that we talked about, the research basically points to two methods to preventing the nearsightedness from developing to that point where it becomes pathological, causing the diseases and things like that. One is low doses atropine drop, and the other is corneal reshaping, which is the overnight contact lens wear. Okay. So those are kind of the two top things in terms of preventing nearsightedness from getting worse.
Is it go through sequence, like you have to do eyeglasses first, or like what's your preference?
What I find, so personally, if I find that someone every year is going up 1 diopter, 0.75 to 1 diopter or more, I think that's a good candidate for the atropine or the corneal reshaping. So if I find that, you know, let's say I have a 5-year-old, last year she was a -2, this year she's a -3, a -350, something like that, I will say, let's prescribe these glasses, let's check back in 6 months. Let's see if you continue down that path. And if you do, let's do something a little bit more serious.
So it's according the progression that concerns you the most?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If it's very progressive, it goes to corneal shaping
or the atropine drops.
Or the atropine drops.
Yeah.
When do we use the eyeglasses for kids?
That's the first line. We always want to correct the vision first, make sure that the kid is seeing well at every distance. Sometimes contact lenses, you know, if the kid doesn't wear his or her glasses, let's put contact lenses on him. Sometimes there's an image difference between the eye. There's something called Aniseh Metropia, in which one eye is like let's say one eye is like a -3, the other one's like a -10, let's say. The size difference between those images is so big that it's going to be hard for him he's going to see like double vision, one image over the other. In those cases, contact lenses really do the most in terms of making the image the same size.
Do you have any advice to keep the kids wearing their eyeglasses? Because
if the parent wears glasses,
I had the same problem.
Right.
As a kid, it was very difficult to keep my eyeglasses on.
Yes.
So
the most important thing is don't pick the glasses for your kids.
Okay.
So let the kid decide which pair of glasses he wants. Let him pick the color, even if it's something that you think is awful. Let the kid decide. Let him personalize as much as possible, and make it cool to wear glasses. That's why I like to wear contact lenses a lot of the time, but I wear glasses in the office for the most part because I want the kids to think that this is normal, acceptable. You know, people do it, and it's great. You know.
So let him pick their eyeglasses. What
for
else?
Sure.
Is there any other guidelines for this?
It's just reinforcing. You know, when you see your kid not wearing the glasses, this is especially the case. We're going to talk about amblyopia at some point.
So in other words, keep nagging.
Yes. If a kid is not even, so there's a condition called amblyopia, and that's the case in which even with the perfect pair of glasses, the kid does not see well, okay? In that case, you need to develop that clear vision over time. There's nagging involved. You're the parent, you know, you should be able to kind of enforce certain things in terms of that.
Okay. With a promise, we'll continue doing this at least once a month to get through this.
Of course.
Thank you so much. It was very informative.
Of course.
الحقيقة احنا بس خدنا بسرعة مع دكتور وانج علاج قصر النظر. الأول حاجة بنبتدي بيها النضارة. تاني حاجة في نوع من الكونتاكت لينسز بنستخدمه. في نوع من القطرات اسمه اتروبين بنستخدمه للأطفال دي. قال كمان على حسب درجة قصر النظر فاكتور مهم جدا قد ايه ده بيتطور كل سنة. يعني مثلا إذا وصل قال من -3.5 ل -5.5 فالحقيقة ده بيبقى تطور كبير جدا بنحتاج معاه ان احنا نعمل حاجة اسمها كورنيال شيبنج. هنناقش كل طرق علاج قصر النظر وطول النظر. الحقيقة موضوع كبير جدا 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 هناخده مع حضراتكم على سلسلة حلقات. النهاردة أول حلقة فيه دكتور وانج هيبقى معانا كمان في حلقات كتير جاية عشان ناخد مشاكل النظر عند الأطفال وطرق العلاج بتاعتهم. المرة الجاية أوعد حضراتكم إن احنا هنبتدي تاني من طرق علاج قصر النظر عند الأطفال. ولكن سألته سؤال مهم جدا، إزاي نقدر نخلي أطفالنا لابسين نظاراتهم اللي هو أول تقريبا طريقة للعلاج. قال خلي الأطفال هي اللي تختار النظارة ونفضل يعني بالأسلوب البسيط نقر عليهم أو نكيب ناجنج معاهم إن هم يفضلوا لابسين نظاراتهم. بشكر حضراتكم المتابعة مع وعد إن احنا هنكمل كل المواضيع دي. نشوفكم على خير إن شاء الله وحلقة جديدة من وايت كوت الأسبوع الجاي.